It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. It's been an embarrassment. And the things that they are using to try to convince us that this is a trial. This is not a trial. This is a mockery of the court at this point. My opinion. They knew, everyone knew that, and I commend the defense for trying to speak about him pleading the fifth. At this point, it's intimidation, and it's not from the defense side. Let's really be honest. Let's watch this clip. Let's get to this clip. One of the clips, let's see. Let's go from here. Let's start here.
From allowing them to use that testimony against you. That's what your lawyer, and I'm not going to get into any of the machinations or intricacies of what may or may not have happened in this case, but Mr. Melnick is a very seasoned criminal defense attorney. I've seen him over the past 2 decades. I'm sure that he's probably given you very, very good advice, but the state can't use that testimony. They can't kind of say, have it both ways. Like you testify and then use that against you to indict you and prosecute you. Then we wouldn't have any faith that we need to have people come in and give testimony. So that's why they can't do that. They kind of can't go back on what they're going to tell you, So I signed the order. Now they've asked for immunity. I've signed the order. So basically, whatever you have to tell us, you tell us.
Say no more.
Do you wish to testify, Mr. Copeland? Is that no? You have to say no on the record.
Say it again.
Do you wish to testify?
He said I tell him whatever I got to tell him. So I testify.
You will testify?
Yeah.
All right, sir. Okay. What we're going to do in just a second is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call for our jurors. I will formally administer the oath to you, and then the state will ask you some questions, okay? And then you'll be cross-examined at some point in time by potentially...
Can I speak my turn before? Because I think I just said the wrong thing.
Sure. I tell you what, why don't you step outside?
So with that, with y'all looking at that, like, to be honest, the man confused. He don't want to testify. He had already told him he was going to plead the fifth. From pleading the fifth and that they want to go against, okay, he don't want to testify. Then it gets more hectic on Friday. I've been watching the trial from the beginning. Friday just was over the top, over the edge, which even still hadn't had enough. And we all seen it coming. If you've been watching the trial from day one, I was just waiting to see when Steele was going to speak up. When Steele was going to have a backbone. Because at the end of the day, when you look at things like this happening in our judicial system, it makes you wonder, like, that is why so many people in jail is innocent. That is why so many people is free that is guilty. Is this. Like, I'm all for justice. I am all for justice. Don't get me wrong. I am totally all for justice. And I won't, if you're guilty, you're guilty. But I don't want you to be trying to find a guilty verdict on my tax dollars that you don't have enough evidence or you don't have enough people to help you build your case. It's nothing wrong with trying to convict. I'm currently going to court now. I'm currently going to court now. Someone murdered my son. They have him. He's guilty. The prosecutor is playing fair. I like that. Don't just be trying to put something together just to get a guilty verdict. And that's what it's starting to look like to me at this point. Because y'all knew, if y'all watched it on Friday and y'all really paid attention to what happened on Friday, look at Friday. The judge just signed that immunity order on Friday morning. Now, this man was coming to testify on Tuesday. Tuesday, they wasn't going to sign it. Wednesday, they didn't sign it. Thursday, they didn't sign it. But Friday morning, right before it's time for court to start, you're signing an immunity to lock this man up because he chose to state that because the immunity wasn't signed when they find out that he wanted to plead the fifth. So why sign an immunity when you know that this individual already is pleading the fifth? It's no way that you could be naive, especially with all the degrees that they have. I'm currently in school for criminal justice, so I can ultimately be an attorney. It's no way if we have these degrees and you made it to be an attorney and you made it to being a judge to know that this guy was not going to plead the fifth. That is ground for a mistrial. And then to fuss at the defense as if they're wrong. It is both persons' obligations, both sides' obligation to tell. But why it's so upsetting that the defense, anyone on the defense decide, let the state do it. It is their case. It is they chief's case. It's their case. Let them present it and let them say, hey, he's going to plead the fifth because you knew this is going to happen in front of the jury. Because why would you go to order that immunity sign minutes before this man has to get on trial when he already told you he don't want to? Why waste the court's time? Why waste our tax dollars or their tax dollars, whoever tax dollars on that? My tax dollars too. Let's go back and watch some more of this.
Mr. Melnick.
Pay attention. Look at all this that is going on. Let me move it right along for us.
I'd like to
Go back.
11th of...
Say no on the record.
Say it again.
She said that she's met with Mr. Copeland and other members of the prosecution team. I asked for any notes that were entitled to exculpatory information under Brady. Ms. Hilton told me that there was one statement, and she emailed that to me and to everyone on the defense side. But, Your Honor, I don't have any of the other notes. Mr. Copeland met with law enforcement on the January 11th of 2015. So, God forbid, the killing of Mr. Thomas is at 7:22 approximately, January 10th, 2015. By the early morning hours, I'm going to tell you about 4 a.m, Mr. Copeland is on video.
Information to defense counsel. Outside of that, he doesn't have any notes, and so there's nothing else to turn over except for what I did turn over. We do have one additional matter, Your Honor, which would be criminal convictions.
Let's continue. The state always I want to just let the courts know. Let the courts know. Y'all let the courts know what they want to let the courts know. Because when it's important that something that is going to sabotage their case, they don't let the courts know. If y'all been watching this, they let the courts know what they want to let the courts know. And it's time that the judge do his job. Because just like Still Say, which I'm going to show that, how would you like to be, let's say the verses, the roles are reversed. Let's just go the roles are reversed. You're in Young Thug's seat. You're innocent. Because obviously he has to know and understand that he's innocent for him to be fighting it. Regardless, that is his right. That is our constitutional right. And we are innocent until proven guilty. You cannot be treating people like they guilty. You can't. You have to give them a fair trial. Like, it's been a mockery. I haven't seen anything like this either. I haven't read anything like this going to school. And if this is what you're teaching to be dirty, I don't want to be dirty. I'm for justice. And to sit there and watch day after day, because this is day 87 at this point. If you know that you don't need 87 days to convict somebody. I don't care if you have 100 people. Evidence is going to prove itself. I haven't seen anything, and it come a time and days where it's enough of this too. Using people words, using people lyrics, that is a part of their freedom of speech. That is kind of like a violation of the Constitution too. Your freedom, they can burn flags, is a part of your freedom of speech. It's plenty of things that you could do that's part of your... If he want to sing a song and make lyrics, it can be true. How can you use someone's freedom of speech, words that you want to use against them, their artistic expression? That don't mean that it's true. But to use people's substantial evidence, videos, things that they don't put together because they don't look like they can really engineer things and just put it together. And whatever is going to sell, they're going to sell. It's going to sell. But at this point in time, they need to just throw this case out. I don't know if they have others feel like I feel. And I'm not saying that they're guilty, but in the court and in the land of the United States, they're innocent. Because you're innocent until proven guilty. They have not been proven guilty, so I have to stand by that they are innocent. So I'm going to speak as they are innocent. And if they say they're innocent, I cannot say that they are not innocent until they have been proven guilty. And watching this trial, I haven't seen the guilt. I have seen a lot of things that could have maybe and if and what, but I don't see nothing where you have hardcore evidence. Just because someone is at the scene doesn't make them a shooter. We learned that in class. That is not factual. Just because they are at the scene don't make them the shooter. Anybody could have shot. But let's continue to watch. I'm going to skip a little forward to Steele, because Steele was aggravated. I'm aggravated for Steele at this point in time. It should be a lot of us aggravated watching. If you're going to, let's say you don't get in trouble, you could just be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And then to give somebody immunity that y'all just think guilty, and people that have already been found guilty of multiple crimes, to give people immunity is downright insane. That's dirty work. That is downright dirty work. Let's be honest. Because if you give me immunity, I'm going to say whatever you want to say. Yeah, you want them to say whatever you want to say. That's not how it goes. Let's play fair in the game of justice. And I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's continue watching. Let me fast forward. I'll come back to them. Let's get to my boy Steele. He was tired of it. I'm tired of it from him. Let's talk about it.
It's them from.
Let's go.
Okay. All right, Mr. Steele, do you have the raw file?
It's this.
Judge Glenn,
Sir.
you allow another moment when Miss Love calls me that I did not do something. They have the exact image of what we got from the jail in Fayette County. That is it. And if I get another false allegation and you do nothing, I'm shocked. I'm appalled at you. I sit here day after day with this false allegation just machine. I gave the state everything. There's been no disconstruction. There's been no purposeful. I don't care. I give over everything. I've done this for 33 years. Never in my life have I seen a trial. I've done 300 appeals in the state of Georgia alone. I've never read a case like this. Judge, I gave them everything I had. I waited. I was at my office till 8, after 8 last night. I waited for their investigator to come by. I handed him an exact copy of thumb drive. They had everything that we got from the Fayette County jail. There's been no deconstruction. There's been no purposeful exclusion. This is not the first time. Okay. And I apologize that I'm getting tempered. But I've never been treated like this. You talk about professionalism every week. Professionalism is lacking with one lawyer here. It has never been. I don't even like coming to court. I used to love this. I would die for what we do. I used to say, I'm dying. I would die. I couldn't choose a better profession. If I had
litigate with Miss Love, I would.
Your Honor, could we strike
No, I'm
really, could we strike
Okay, everybody, calm down. Everybody, both of you seated. Both of you, please be seated.
Judge, I'm not.
Both of you, please be seated.
You have to do something. You have threatened me with contempt. You have threatened me with jail. If you go back in time, we can just start in voir dire. Juror after juror, you did individual.
I want to stop right there because Love have her nerves to point this way and look this way. You run your mouth all the time. You run your throat all the time. When other people want to stand up for the misjustice that they see what's going on throughout that courtroom, because we all watching. We all watching. Give them a fair trial. And a fair trial is not being given. It's time to stop this show. At this point in time, I don't understand. I don't even think the state understanding what needs to be going on. And as for Woody, the contempt, Woody don't look like he's a dumb man. It looks like that he must be the star witness. If the star witness doesn't say anything, the case is over. He gets out of jail once the case is over. And they keep on saying in this courtroom, Woody is not crazy. Let's get to the meat and gravy here right now about why Woody is not testifying. Let's talk about why Woody is not testifying at this point and at this time. Let's speak on it. Because of the simple fact they keep saying he has immunity with the state of Georgia in this courtroom, in this proceeding. Now, if somebody else decides to pick it up, fed unquote fed, he has no immunity. Like, at this point in time, you had since 2014. From what I'm paying attention, it's now 2022. You should have had your chief and case together. You should have had it together by now. You had 8 years, almost. It's 2024. Excuse me, 10 years to put together a case. That shouldn't even take no time. 10 years to put a case together? There's no way we should be going through what we're going through. They putting in late evidence. They still trying to gather evidence that's from 2015, you had 10 years. 10 years. These guys been locked up. You had plenty of time to prove this case. This is getting ridiculous. Tomorrow is Monday. I know I'm looking forward to seeing when Woody gonna catch this stand. Because at this point, and then the judge mad at the other man for speaking up to say that the defense knew. But if you pay attention, if y'all go back and watch it, when they called Kenneth Copeland's name, let's be honest, Love turned around and Love was about to tell the judge he wanted to, listen, the judge cut her off and said, oh no, look, he's there coming in. Everyone had to hear that man hooping and hollering in the hallway. And if anybody else was hooping and hollering in the hallway, you would have been contempt of court. You would have been brought in front of that judge to see what is your cause of the commotion out there in the hallway. But yet they're trying to play as if they don't know what's going on. Y'all knew. Still knows what he's doing. And I love his composure. And Friday, he deserves to be tempered. He deserved to be every tempered it was to be tempered. And he was tempered in a well professional way. To know, like, and the point about it is, I know, and I see what is going to, how humble he have to humble himself because he's representing his client. He's representing his client, and he see He have the person who not even supposed to have no type of. The judge supposed to just be dictating. He not supposed to have no emotions in this. The judge have more emotions, and he is want to be nosy. Shut the case down. Shut the case down. Just to say, oh, we brought them to it, it's not looking good. It's so much dirty work. It's dirty work. It's dirty work. Nobody hands clean. And for them to lie and say that their lawyer, Woody lawyer, was turning around. Y'all watch the video. Ain't no time Woody lawyer was turning around to see what was going on with the defense. And then for them to say, let's continue. Then for them to say that, oh, we didn't know he had a lawyer. If that man is on record being his lawyer and never dismissed himself, meaning he went through and put it on record to say that he's no longer that man's lawyer, you are not supposed to talk to that client, regardless of what he say, because he's represented by an attorney. I don't care what nobody say, and everyone knows that. It doesn't matter what they say. He was represented by an attorney. In order to say, oh, I didn't know he was not represented anymore, you need to go in the court and look and see if he had filed a motion to say he wanted to recuse himself from representing Kenneth Copeland. No one brought no paperwork to say that this man recused himself. So if you don't have no motion that says that he recused himself from Kenneth Copeland as his lawyer, if the lawyer recused himself, then he's still his lawyer, regardless. And lines and constitutional and rights are being violated day in and day out. Let's even say if they're guilty, you done violated so many constitutional rights, it's going to be thrown back. At this point, do you know what you're doing? And for love, and she liked to try to shut people up. And I love that still say, I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be silenced. Love can talk on and 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 on. And the judge don't tell her anything. But soon as the defense want to talk on and on, she could come with different books, different motions, different restaurant laws. She could come with, oh, let me bring a witness so you could talk to them and that. But soon as the defense want to do it, it is a problem. No, fair game should be across the board. And it don't look like it's a fair game across the board. This is filmed day in and day out, and it is records. It was derailing. Now it has come completely off track. If this is a representation of our judicial system, everyone I know, including me who's going to school to continue to be a lawyer, sees that it starts from the system, and you wonder why we have a world the way that we have, because you have a system the way the system is, and they okay with that. In order to build a better world and a better community, it needs to be a system. Y'all can't be doing dirty work in the courtroom and don't expect the dirty work don't gonna be done outside. Everybody needs to clean up at this point. Everybody. And I'm not talking about the defense. Stop doing dirty work to get people guilty, to get people to be able to testify. You want to know how you get people to testify? You have to be 100 with people. Try to be conniving, and you think, or because you a lawyer, or you think because you a judge, that these people on the street don't have the smarts. They was raised on the same streets we raised on. Taught by some of the same teachers we was taught by. At this point, let the trial go. let the trial go. It's time to go. Y'all done held them jurors up for shenanigans, for your own self, whatever it is whatever it is getting out of this. Because it don't look like, it don't even matter if he's guilty. I don't know what the prosecutor getting out of this to keep on with the circus. And the judge keep allowing the circus. The defense, like, when is the circus going to be over? 87 days. Monday, which is tomorrow. Today is June 9th. Tomorrow is June 10th. 88 days and you telling me you ain't had enough evidence to prove these people? It's no way impossible. Come on, let's really think about this. 88 days. The prosecution's still trying to convince who? At this point, I feel the prosecutor is trying to convince themselves at this point. You had a prosecutor that's on there that one of the witnesses said he was trying to date her. And we still going on. It's enough for this. Y'all, please watch it. Some light needs to be shed on this. Really need to. That's why the people, Georgia, clean it up. Clean it up. That's why it's a lot going on. Because it ain't enough evidence. Y'all got too much crooked stuff going on. And we seen it. I'm going to let this go. I'll come back. Once I have better audio, we can have a watch party. Y'all can watch with me. We can have a watch party. But it's enough of this. I don't understand how they still letting this fiasco go. Because it's here, there, here. Let it go. State, you lost. You lost before you started. Y'all don't even have evidence. You still trying to look and discover evidence from 2014. Then it say, oh, they had war and beef. And the defense keeps showing that is a lie. This is a lie. They got along. For whatever happened with someone else's is, you can't input everybody with that. Just because I was friends with somebody before and because they had this and that, we don't know each and everything our friends have going on. Nobody knows that. The judge don't know what Miss Love's got going on. Nobody knows what who has going on once we out of each other's presence. Stop trying to prove everybody guilty. They have to, and you can't prove somebody guilty by doing dirty work. It's dirty work going on. Let's really be honest. It's dirty work.